Welcome, everybody, to our podcast.
The tapestry of your life.
Yeah, it's Melissa.
And Nadine. And we are going to be discussing our notes from October 22nd, 2023, here at Victory Christian Fellowship.
Woo-woo.
We're starting in Matthew. I didn't write the title, so I'm not sure what the title was, but the scripture we're starting with is Matthew 15, verse 27. I have to start a few verses ahead so we know the background here. Verse 21, when Jesus left there, he withdrew to an area of Tyre and Sidon. Just then, a Canaanite woman from that region came and kept crying out, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David. My daughter is cruelly tormented by a demon." Jesus did not say a word to her. So his disciples approached him and urged him, "Send her away because she cries out after us." I never put that together.
She couldn't get to Jesus, so then she started bugging the disciples, and the disciples were like, "Jesus, will you please do something?"
Wow. And that their solution was send her away.
Yeah.
But that wasn't Jesus. He replied to her after their suggestion. He realized, that's not the answer. Let me help these disciples out a little more. Right? Because remember, the disciples were in training.
Yeah.
That's part of being a disciple.
They were working on their love walk and understanding spiritual principles.
Yes. So Jesus replied in verse 24, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." We see Jesus does this often, and we need to do the same thing. He states who he is and what his purpose is on the earth.
Like he did with the wedding at Cana.
Yes.
Is what it's making me think of. Is like, it's not my time. Like, I'm here to do this, not to do that.
Yes, exactly. But she came, knelt before him, and said, "Lord, help me." So the woman changed her approach. In the beginning, she was crying out, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David." And now she kneels before Jesus and says, "Help me. Lord, help me." And Jesus answered her, "It isn't right to take the children's bread and throw it to their dogs." And how does the Passion say that that verse in 26?
Well, that one still says dogs, but
it's
in the next verse that changes it.
Okay, just read the next verse while we're looking
at it.
So
verse 27 then says, "You're right, Lord," she replied, "but even puppies get to eat the crumbs that fall from the prince's table."
Yes. So puppies, dogs, very nice. So Jesus replies to her, "It isn't right." He didn't say, "I can't help you." Because she said, "Help me, Lord."
Right. He could help her.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he keeps stating his purpose. It isn't right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. Right? So Jesus had told her that he was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So he's like, I haven't been sent to help you. Right? And so he says it in a different way. I can't take the children's bread and give it to people that I haven't been sent to. Because then the children that I am responsible to take care of wouldn't have bread, is the indication, right? But she continues the conversation, and I believe this is what God does with us all the time.
Yeah.
He wants us to continue the conversation.
I was just going to say, like, with that statement, like, she didn't get offended and walk away or anything like that. Like, she understood his point, but then she, like, kept countering because she had a goal and a vision and, like, a mission, basically, and she wasn't going to leave until that happened because she knew Jesus, like, was the one who could help her.
Right. She recognized that he could help.
Yeah, he had the power and the authority to be able to do it.
Yes. And she was willing to have a conversation with him, just like the Samaritan woman at the, was she the Samaritan woman? The woman at the well
Yeah.
from Samaria.
Yeah.
Yes.
Samaritan woman. Yeah.
She continued to have a conversation with Jesus.
Right?
Yes. So then in verse 27, I'm reading the Holman Christian Standard Bible. Yes, Lord. So now she's agreeing. They have an agreement point here now, right? Yes, Lord, she said, even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. So she was answering, I'm not asking for you to give me bread from the children. Like, I don't want you to take bread from the children. I know, this struck me the night that Pastor Doug preaches. I know that even a crumb, that's all I need. I just need a crumb that falls off the table. You're not feeding the dogs. It's just a crumb falling off the table. When I heard that word crumbs, right away I saw the feeding of the 5,000.
As a crumb.
Yeah.
I remember that night now.
Yes. Can you imagine? Like, one crumb delivered her daughter from demon possession and healed her.
Yeah.
One crumb. In the feeding of the 5,000, there were 12 baskets of bread left over. That's a lot of crumbs.
Yeah.
Do you know how much power is available in the bread of God, which is Jesus himself? He said, I am the bread of heaven.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah. So would a crumb be equivalent to a cell? Like a crumb from a loaf of bread be equivalent to like a cell in the body? Proportionate. My math teacher here.
I would say so.
Similar. At least they're small parts of a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, so think about that.
Yeah.
When we have something in our physical body that needs a crumb, or just, the small mustard seed concept where Jesus said, if you have faith as a mustard seed.
It makes me think of, this phrase that I heard one time, there's more atoms in a teaspoon of water than there are teaspoons of water in the ocean. That's the reason you saw like my thinking face happening. I was like, what's that phrase? Because like something so small, like it's so packed into that one teaspoon of water, like that's the type of magnification that I'm thinking of.
Wow.
Like with like the crumbs, because atoms are so small, so there's more atoms in a teaspoon of water than there are teaspoons of water in the entire ocean.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. Like something so small, but it's such like a huge impact. Like when you think about the scale of things. That's what it made me think of as you were talking. But
I love it.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. I'm so glad I did. That gives us a great perspective of the potency.
Right? Well, and also like I remember Pastor Doug saying before in one of his messages, like how she changed the name every time she was speaking to him.
Yes.
So it was like started out with like Son of David, and then it's like, Lord help me, and then it changes to, like from the prince's table or the master's table.
Yes.
So every time it's getting like more potent and more intense and more personal and like closer to that connection, even though she's not technically, an Israelite or of like the Jewish descent and everything, like who he was sent to help at that point in time. But that was her point. She was like, I still want to be part of it. And like,
yes.
I still want what you have. Like,
yes. Absolutely. And the last verse of this account is verse 28. Then Jesus replied to her, "Woman, your faith is great." So this is the atoms in a teaspoon more than in a teaspoon in the sea.
Yes.
Basically, taking that concept, she had more faith than all the Israelites that he was sent to.
Yeah. I like that. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Because he said, your faith is great.
Yeah,
How's the Passion say it?
The Passion says, "Dear woman, your faith is strong."
Okay, and that's that potency.
Yeah, what you desire will be done for you.
And the Holman Christian Standard says, "Let it be done for you as you want."
Yeah.
So do you realize in this, wait, I got to finish this. And from that moment, her daughter was cured.
Yeah.
So from the moment that her faith was expressed and acted on, and Jesus acknowledged, woman, your faith is great.
The agreement between
yes.
the two.
Then he said, let it be done according as you want. So from the beginning, she was asking Jesus to do something for her. And the last ending sentence of this conversation is, it will be done as you want.
I am. But I was just thinking of like the agreement too. Like
Yes.
at that point, Jesus like agreed with her, like, okay, it'll be done. And that's when it happened too. Like I know, like there's that verse, like when 2 or 3 are gathered together, like Jesus is in the midst, and like the power of our agreement. But I kind of see it like really jumping out at me in this part. Like how
Yes.
her faith is then joining in with like Jesus's faith, and like at that moment it happened because she
Yes.
kept at it. Like,
So Jesus was showing everyone who was around, hearing and seeing this conversation. He said why he was sent and to whom he was sent. But in the same moment, in the same teaspoon,
yeah.
he was showing the future. Because we know that when he died on the cross and rose again, it was for Jews and Gentiles, the entire sea of humankind.
Yeah.
And so the leveling stick, so to speak, I don't know if that's the right word, but that's what just came out into my
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, wait till I say what I'm saying, and then you can tell me the right word.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know what the right word is, and I don't know what a leveling stick is. Okay. What I'm trying to say is faith is the measuring stick. So it didn't matter that she was a Syrophoenician Canaanite woman considered to be a dog. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was the disciples who were an Israelite.
Now I understand.
Faith was what mattered.
Measuring sticks make sense as opposed to leveling stick.
That's what I meant to say. Measuring stick. I don't know what level happens here,
do you
but
mean a level? I was like, or measuring tape. I don't know what you mean.
I don't know either.
I was like the wedding at Cana. I guess I see the parallels, right? Like Mary, his mom created an atmosphere of faith, and like that changed the course of what was supposed to happen.
Yes.
Because she was like, well, the time is now. Do what he says.
So the only agreement that needs to occur is between us and God.
Yes.
That's it. In the wedding in Cana, they were surrounded by people who didn't know what was happening, or those who did know what was happening but never saw it, so they didn't really have faith for it.
Yeah.
And here, the disciples were like, send her away. So
She's annoying us.
there was no faith agreement amongst the people.
Right.
But once there's that connection of faith agreeing with the word, Jesus is the word, we can have it as we want.
Yeah.
And from that, he said, let it be done to you, for you as you want. So we need to go to God and be talking a lot of what we want.
Yeah.
And find what the word says about it, and we have that agreement, we will have what we want.
Amen. Thanks, everybody, for listening.